Welcome to the Sales Strategy Bootcamp with Romeo Mabasa, and in this episode we look at the various customer body languages that all salespeople need to understand. Over and above verbal communication, customer feedback, and responses, it's important for us to also take time to understand the non-verbal communications. There are certain gestures that the customer will throw at you, and if you don't notice these things, you find that you would have invested so much time explaining only to realize later on that the customer lost interest a long time ago. The first one I want to talk about is called Oculesics, and Oculesics looks at eye movement, eye gazing, eyeballing, or eye rolling. You know how, for example, when somebody rolls their eyes on you as a sign that whatever you are saying, I'm not interested, or it's not correct. So it's important for you to understand, always observe, look at eye movement as you talk. And the second one is called Haptics, and this refers to touching, handshake, high five, petting, someone putting their hand on your shoulder as a sign of reassurance. So it's important to notice all this gesticulation so that you see that the customer is not lost in translation. And the third one is called Kinesics, and this refers to body movement. Someone sitting and do you notice that they're fidgety, and fidgety could be a sign of impatience. Someone looking at their watch and looking at the wall, or looking at someone if someone is going to walk in through the door, but there is this level of discomfort. Know these things. And the fourth one is called Proxemics, and this one really looks at the issue of proximity. How close or how far away are you from the customer? So this speaks to personal space. It looks at the distance between the customer. It looks at how far or close are you when you interact, and also really speaks to the issue of invasion of privacy. You need to be aware of these things. Now we look at part 2. And in part 2, we need to understand, how far you need to be and what it means. For example, from 0 to 1.5 inches is like, now it's like intimate space. You are really breathing in somebody's face. 1.5 to 4 inches is personal space. 4 inches to 12 inches is social space. And then obviously 12 inches is regarded as public space. You can actually find this on Google too. And number 5 is called Polemics, and this really looks at the negative impression that you might be giving the customer when you attack other brands, other products, the competition. You need to make sure that you are aware that certain customers don't appreciate you coming to talk bad about other people. It's important to understand that polemics could also actually cost you the business. And the 6th one is called Chronemics, and this refers to time. Remembering that certain times of the day also influences people's moods. I mean, if you call a meeting at 8, you don't expect people to be bubbly. If you call a meeting after 10, it might be a good time because they've caught up on email, but it's very important for you to find out the good time to speak to your customer. And number 7, and the last one, is called Vocalics. And this refers to your vocal quality and ability, the pitch, how you sound. Do you have a squeaky voice? Do you have a deep voice? Do you speak too loud? Do you speak too soft? And my favorite one is called verbal fillers, where, when people talk, go, as I was thinking. Those are some of the things you need to know. And of course, you find me on Twitter and Instagram, Maromza, and encourage your friends, business people, entrepreneurs to subscribe to this channel, because we will post weekly content.